What's up, y'all? I'm Niche. I'm not really super important or anything, I even doubted and had some reluctance doing this video because it's like, who's gonna see it? You know what I mean? Got like 7,000 and something followers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But I decided to do it, kind of. Like, I'm still not about this about fear. Like, I'm about to tell y'all some of my fears. But this might not even make it to the internet. Like, for real. Like, because if I was really about that life, like, I would have just went live. But I'm like, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if I end up posting it. But I was thinking about fear and analyzing really like taking a deep dive into myself and looking myself in the mirror and really like trying to give myself a life grade, right? Like, what's my grade as a mother? How can you improve on that? What's my grade as a friend? How can you improve on that? What's your grade on, self-control and all these different things, discipline, right? And I think that's super duper important for all of us to do here and there, especially if you work for yourself. If you're employed, you have to think about it at least once a year. There is somebody analyzing your performance. There's somebody that's holding you accountable. When you work for yourself, you have to be that person to really like analyze your performance and really like look at how can you be better at whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So I was looking and I was thinking about myself and I'm like, yo, fear me, you're a punk, yo. Like, yo, and I always prided myself on not being a punk. Nah. Like, yo, I be so fearful of so many things. And I think a lot of us are like I don't think it's just me. Because I could see it sometimes when I, talk to clients or even potential clients or people that need services. Even worse, like I'll see a person that needs like a certain service and they won't do it, but clearly like this service can really help them and make them better. Like, it's super duper confusing. Sometimes it'd be like, yo, $9. Like, why? What really do you have to lose? Like, you can really learn something very valuable, or worst case scenario, you lost $9. Like, and depending on how valuable and helpful and useful that service would be, lots of times it's a game because you could do something with that service or that knowledge or whatever. But anyways, that's not what this is about, but I really think like so many of us are like fear paralyzes us. And so I wanted to share some things on this video that I wouldn't normally share. Um, because I would, for whatever reason, I was afraid for whatever reason. So I think me doing that is going to encourage, it's going to make me feel like a weight lifted, and it's going to push me even more. Right. So I guess all of this is coming on because I'm about to make an offer on a house. And I wasn't going to tell anybody because what if, I don't end up making an offer? What if I make an offer and I lose, I lose the offer and I don't want to go through that. Like, people just find out when they find out, like, yo, got another crib, right? Legit, like, wasn't really telling nobody at all. And matter of fact, I still might not tell some of my friends. Some of them, if they don't see this video, they won't know until I tell them, for real. Perhaps that's how I'm feeling, but I wanted to share that, and I almost wasn't gonna go through with it because it was there's so many like what ifs, like, oh, what if it doesn't work out, and what if I can't afford it, and what if there's some financial trouble, is this the right decision, and what if something goes wrong, or what if you try and it doesn't work, and uh, going crazy. Like, yo, just do it, yo. Like Hood Estate says, love them. Just start. So I'm like, nah, stop. Why are you making these excuses? Like, can you knock it off? Like, you are capable of doing things. Like, and what I've noticed, I really am now like appreciating what I have, right? And for the first time, I'm literally thanking God, like, yo, this is dope. Thank you, God. instead of like always trying to get to the next, like I literally thanked him for my bed. Like legit was in my bed, like, yo, it's dope. I love having a bed to sleep in. I love the fact that I got a new bed. I love the fact that it's a king size. Like, really, yo, it's just a bed, right? Kind of. But I'm so appreciative because everybody doesn't have that. And I have to recognize that. And everybody doesn't have the type of bed that I have. Well, just before my bed was a lot smaller, so it's just the small wins, like, you know what I mean? And I've started to thank God for my small wins and even more for my big wins too. And I feel like I've been getting so blessed lately and all this stuff and all this opportunities coming. And I'm like seeing myself like, wow, you're going in the right direction. Like the whole, everything you've been going for, like, this is good. I'm seeing the growth. But at the same time, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I think about like, and I make excuses, and I think so many of us make excuses, but it'll be something like, yeah, I want to go on live, right? So here's one of the things. Every Tuesday, I want to go on live, right? Every Tuesday, I want to put out a video faithfully, like Tuesdays, let's say 8 o'clock. Maybe I'll do it. This is something that I've been planning anyways, but I've been a little nervous because it's like, yo, what if you suck? What if you can't really do every Tuesday? That's a big commitment of your time, right? But I feel like people like deserve that time. Like it's gonna really help, you know. And the end of the day, like how much time is it? Unless you're over analyzing and overdoing it and trying to talk yourself out of it, right? So really it's however long the video takes, which isn't going to be more than 30 minutes, right? That's not much time, 30 minutes a week to do this. But I'm like, nah, I gotta have my makeup on. You see this? That's how you know it's real. Coming on here looking rough, right? But I'm like, nah, like, cause then I don't need this whole, like, let me just go on there and speak my thoughts. I don't got time to do that, my makeup. And nor is it realistic. That's adding to the time, right? So I don't want to have that pressure of, well, only going on here with my makeup's done. Nah, like whether my hair is done, whether my hair is not done, it is what it is. I don't know if males have that pressure like women have the pressure. And I be looking at King Ashley Ann, okay? She be on there correct. Lashes be popping, you know. Nails did. She always comes. What? So she's one of my mentors. Listen, I got to step it up, right? Because she comes on there popping, and not only does she look good, she's giving straight realness, real facts. She's being her. She does a great job at what she does. Anyways, like that. So that's what I'm like, okay, she's very successful. Come correct. So I don't know though. I probably can't be correct with the lashes and all that. I love her lashes. Lashes always be on point. And the nails. She's just, yeah. Anyways, I'm not gonna be able to do that. That can't stop me from doing the video though. That can't stop the information that I'm offering on these videos. Okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm thinking talk about it Tuesdays. And just talking about whatever. So this is about fear and the emotions that I go through. And was one of the things that I fear, telling people like, or starting a talk about it Tuesday or a weekly commitment to my audience. Let me do that weekly commitment. Definitely. So, and guess what? If I miss a week or if it happens, right? Maybe I'll just get better and better and better and better. That's the goal. Don't let what if stop you from doing what can really help not only yourself but help other people. So that's that. I'm gonna start doing talk about it Tuesdays, and hopefully y'all hold me accountable. Make sure I'm getting it done. Next thing, I fear. I talked about this house. I fear. I don't know. it seems like I fear so much, even with my family. Like, oh, I hope everything's okay. I hope, they're going out. Hope they return okay. Like, it's like, yo, me, chill. Why you always on edge? And the thing, fear is so wet because when you really think about it, you are afraid of something that has not occurred. It hasn't even occurred. You might think it's going to occur. You might worry, but you're like really like scared and not doing something based on nothing, based on it's what if, so think about how much opportunity we missed out on. Now, don't get me wrong, fear is important. That's what helps keeps us alive. But you don't want to overdo fear, in my opinion. When you don't have to be fearful, like when you weigh like with the worst that can happen, okay, the worst that can happen, you get embarrassed. Okay. So we all been embarrassed before. That's life. Why wouldn't I share some information? Oh, I'll be embarrassed if nobody watches. I'll be embarrassed if it doesn't work. Okay. It didn't work. This stuff that you did, everybody's done that hasn't worked. Facts. So why are you scared of that, Mish? Like, come on. So I really want to have a new outlook on fear. And I want to see where it takes me. And not one of these like fake outlooks that last for a couple of days or even a couple of weeks. Like, nah, let me boss up. Let me stop being afraid. And if you're somebody who's watching this, maybe some of this hit home for you. I hope it did. That's part of the point. And let me tell you, boo, if you mess up, it's cool. We can mess up together. Let's get a kick like, girl, you messed up. Yeah. That means I'm one step closer to having success because I had so many mess ups. I know what not to do. That's how I'm about to start looking at my mess ups like, because I've always got through it. And there's been times when I felt like, nah, there's no getting through this. I felt that way 100%. And now I'm in a pretty good space and I'm like, yo, wow, I got through it. That was a rough patch. The rough patch sometimes might be a week. It might be a month. It might be 6 months. It might be a year. It might be 2-3 years. But sometimes it's like, yo, I got through it. You'll be surprised what God helps us get through. So, yeah, that's that. I don't even know if this whole video could post because I don't know how long IGTV is. But whatever, it'll go up on my YouTube. Some will see it. If it inspired you, go ahead and share it. Hopefully that's what this is for. And even if it didn't inspire you, it might inspire somebody else. Think about that. Because if it's not you, which it probably is you, but if it's not you, think of all the people that this can help change. Think about it if we all had that mindset about fear and started really following our hearts and our dreams and our goals. Not be afraid to get married again because you was divorced before. I don't want to get married again. What if it doesn't work again? What are people going to say? If you want to get married again, get married again. That's me too. Been there. Had those thoughts. I get it. You don't want to quit my job and start my business. Because what if my business doesn't make any money? Okay. Well, get another job then. Go back to work. If it doesn't work out, if it gets that bad, ain't that an option? And what if it does make more money? And what if it gives you way more time with your family and makes triple what you was making before? Let's weigh that. Go ahead and try it. People be having like stacks on stacks in the bank. Scared to go in business for themselves for a little bit. Yo, there's people that go in business for themselves with no money. No, I'm not saying that's the move neither. But like no money, like not $2,000 to their name. They do it. Some less. Steve Harvey talk about that. Quit his job. Like, quit. I'm going to be a comedian. I'm out. Straight quit his job. Homeless, all that. homeless, learning disability. Like, nah, he got so inspired. That's what I'm talking about. When he says that, he was so inspired and he was so moved. You know, go look up his story if you haven't seen it. He talks about going to a comedy show and happened to be called on stage to do comedy when he was like the backup. And he just felt so good up there. And people loved him. And he was like, this is my calling. Some of us, we're just missing out on our calling because of fear. I'm not trying to miss out. So what? So what if you lose $10,000? I might cry if I lost 10,000. Yeah, that's what. But guess what? If I made 10,000 before, guess what I could do again? I could make 10,000. Nah, it wasn't luck. You did that. And if it was luck, maybe you could have the same luck again. Like, it's not over. It's never over. You just got to keep, boom, boom, keep going. So, yeah, share this with somebody, man. Somebody needs to hear this. All right? Bless up.